Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be my first game of the Havoc tournament, and it's giving me my Orcs up against some Wood Elves. Alright, so just to let you know how the tournament was set up, basically there's some sort of scenario going on in the game. So if you do something, you get X amount of points. On top of this, there's three objectives, and you're trying to do these three things as well. So that in the end, you'll be getting your points based off whether it's a minor, solid, or a massacre. So either you beat them by 100, double their victory points, or triple it. And then also get these three extra ones as well. So it's pretty important that you go for these things. In this first game here, it's kind of like there's this gear of the other team can try and get. So that's the two tokens you can see there, the black and the white. One would be, it's based on what race you are, so one would give the unit choppas, just the orc stuff, and one would be the longbows of the wood elves. And whatever unit gets there, I think the different objectives was you wanted to get yours first before your opponent's, and that you have to destroy a unit while you have it, and I can't remember what the third one was. But what this first game here is going to be is actually going to be a grudge match I had. So when I first designed this and had my challenge go out, I actually thought I was going to be up against a, orc army. And so as soon as I heard that it was going to be switched to this Wood Elf player, I was a little bit worried because my model count's very low, and so trying to catch this player can be very hard. I played him once before. He's a very strong player, very strong with the movement phase and with the avoidance. He's won tournaments before, and I know I'll have to be on his case and be very quick and very smart in order to catch him. So, I mean, I've already gone over what my list was before, but what he has over there, from what I can see here, is he has some Glade Riders or Wild Riders it is on the left flank. He has some Dryads in the trees. He has a Tree Man. Then he has an Eternal Guard in there. He has his BSB, and that's it for the character in there. Behind, he has one level 2, and that's his General. In the building is more Glade Guard and another level 2, and more Dryads. And also he has some, Warhawks. Now, what I was planning to do here is make it so that I was going to hold off the right flank with my Night Goblins and their Fanatics, knowing that if he comes in through this way, the Fanatics will go out and kill whatever little soft unit went after them, and meanwhile the Trolls and the Savages are just going to sweep around the right flank, and so kind of like this be this big trap. Otherwise, we'll have to kind of see if that works out though. So after the Vanguards in my first turn, it looks like this. So because we both Vanguarded up, that meant that I could not charge it. It meant I could have actually moved up and taken them, but I was pretty sure if I did that, I would just be killed and shot and all this. So what I decided to do was, like I was saying, hold back. I tried to Foot of Gork the Warhawks, but I rolled like crap. That's after a direct hit that I only killed one. Just some bad rolling, and he passes leadership, but whatever. The plan is still here that he's now going to move up, take it. I'll move up with the Night Goblins, kill him with Fanatics, and then I'll just go up and I'll take it with the Wolf Riders. But otherwise, I have my Savages, which are now in the building on the left, and my Trolls are going up as fast as they can. His turn 1 though, and this was horrible. He shoots, okay, first of all, a lot of stuff is shifting to the right side, which is what I expected, and then he shot my Wolf Riders and destroyed them. I mean, I really didn't think that he'd be doing that much. I underestimated how much his shooting would do to me, but hey, I'm only toughness 3, 5+ armor, we're all dead. This now panics my Night Goblins. Now, my General is off on the left side. I didn't think I'd need the leadership here right now because of how large my unit was. I didn't think I'd take that many losses, and so when I took the leadership based off of the panic, now I fled, and my Night Goblins aren't over there, my Fanatics are dead, and everything's a mess. He's now taken those two objectives. That's 800 points to him if he's holding it at the end. He's blocking my unit inside the building the best he can. I mean, really, he's not going to do that much because my Trolls will move up and then I'll move out of the building at the bottom. But my whole plan is falling apart, and for an army that's all avoidance, he now has a big chunk of the board to play with. My turn 2 then, so what I'm left with doing is my Trolls get out of the building, the Savages pop out, and the Night Goblins rally. But you can see now I've lost a whole turn, and my positioning is horrible. I'm going to try and do some Foot of Gork to force his hand, but he just stopped it. His turn 2 now, his Warhawks just take off, and then he has the flaming banner in that one unit that's outside the building, and as you can see there, he just ripped into me. Look at how many trolls I lost. So that's some bad news because I've got a tree man there I need to fight. Also, the way the angles were, it was actually set up so that my trolls couldn't see his tree man. It was just, I mean, I should have turned my trolls just a little bit more and I've been fine, but this is what I'm talking about, where he's just really sneaky with these angles, and now, I can't really charge anything. I'm just going to spend another turn trying to reform my line. My turn 3 then, just really moving up into position. I really tried to force a Hand of Gork to move my savages up, but he's stopping this. And really, I'm showing my back of my trolls to the cav there and also to the dryads. But I mean, if he charges me, I'll just be smashing him. My biggest worry here is just trying to deal with this tree man. His turn of 3 here, he's just kind of moving around. You can see the units around my trolls. I really don't care too much about that because really, I'm going to have a hard time hurting the tree man, and really if I can attack these other things, that should actually help me out with the combat res. One of the things I wouldn't want to do is get those treekin or something in the flank of my savages, so I'll have to be more careful with them. But the one thing I saw here is he did offer me a flank charge on his internal guard if I get a long bomb charge off, but really that would be something pretty desperate. And that's actually what I do get off. I think I needed to get 11 to get it, and I got it. This isn't necessarily a good thing. Remember that he is an elf, so I'll be having to do a fear test. I think I'm away from my general's leadership. He could be killing my BSB here. So, I mean, it's kind of risky, but I need something to turn this around. So in my turn, it looks like this. I charge my trolls into the tree man, and then I set myself up so I'll be getting ranks. I finally got off Hand of Gork, so my savages are in a good point where they can actually threaten something, be it whether the Eternal Guard or the archers at the top. And then in that combat, I was kind of worried that his BSP might be something good, but he didn't bring him down, so I'm assuming that he has almost nothing, and I won combat, and he's stubborn. His turn 4, he's moving his dryads now to threaten my night goblins. Look at those archers at the top. They just swift reformed, are able to move out of my way, so I'll be getting no points there. He had charged in his wild riders and his dryads into my trolls. I'd almost killed all of his wild riders, but I'm having a hard time trying to kill those dryads at the back. I think I won this combat, maybe, or whatever it was. Maybe I held and I was steadfast, but yeah, I mean, at least in this case, I'm happy because I'm actually scoring some points, which I need desperately. My set of 5 then, the savages go into the flank of the Eternal Guard. Turns out that his BSB had the whole annoyance of nettings. He was able to kill my BSBs, so my BSB is dead, but otherwise I just completely wiped out all the Internal Guard, and then they broke and the BSB automatically died. So again, there's some points, and I was able to somewhat reform my line, but because the savages are forced to overrun, they couldn't actually change up their facing, so I could actually be looking the way that I'd like to. In the other combat, I killed the last Wild Rider, so again, some points there. But man, again, I just can't do any wounds to these Dryads. He has set of 5, and it's all just about avoidance. He's just trying to, I mean, he could have charged some things in, but on his part, he's ahead of points. Why'd even bother? In the combat, again, I'm having trouble with the Dryads, but at least I'm holding, and I really hope I'm not going to lose this Troll unit. My side of 6, really just reforming and fighting some more in combat. And the only real good news is I catch this one caster with a foot of Gork, so there's something at least. And his turn 6, he did something really crazy here that I didn't expect, and that was to flank my trolls with his archers. And the reason why he did that is because, again, they have the flaming banner, so they're fast, they do the flaming attacks and all these things, and as you see, I lost a bunch of guys, I broke, and luckily he didn't catch me. I mean, that would have been a 630 point swing, but luckily he didn't catch me. So a big break there for me. So when we were adding up all the points, I mean, there wasn't many units that were actually destroyed, but it actually turned out to be a minor win for him. Of course, I mean, if he would have got those trolls, that really would have pushed it over to being a solid or massacre or whatever it was. So, I mean, again, really lucky that I'm getting away with this with a minor loss. And really, I think a big thing that I have to kick myself here was just the way I deployed and the way that I even tried thinking that I'd be able to do this whole trap with, like, oh, I'll put all my things on one side and then have them come after the other stuff on the other side. I should have deployed more centrally and worked out from there. Probably had the night goblins in the center to be going into the building and popping out with the trolls and savages on either side. But this is the way I played it wrong, and not only that, then I got caught with a panic test, and it was just a rough game from there. So thanks for watching, and much more coming up.